This is very interesting, actually. This is going to be from a new study that was just published. That I'm gonna pat ourselves on the back for this. No news agency has covered this, so it's just gonna be us and talking about this study that just came out.
Are we journalists?
By the California the California Law Review, and they did this massive study on the concept of suicide by cop, and they're basically calling it junk science. A idea that has been pushed into fantasy world basically to protect cops from accountability. Oh, I didn't kill a guy in cold blood. He wanted me to kill him.
He kept saying, shoot me, so I did.
But even so there is that, and so we could have that whole argument. Is that a cop doing their job effectively if a guy who's saying shoot me and then they shoot him? No, right? But this article goes much further than that. That the scenario you're describing is nowhere near what's actually happening. The cops just murdered someone, but they retroactively are like, actually, he probably wanted to die because if we hired a psychologist to say that he was depressed, so he was probably suicidal, and that's why he made us shoot him. Damn. So I'm not going to. I was originally planning on reading more from this study. They go into this one case, but we don't really have the time, so I'll just try to summarize it. But the beginning of this study talks about one case in 2006, and this is in, I believe, San Francisco or San Diego? San Francisco. And so long story short, there were some young friends who were at their friend's apartment. The friend wasn't there. So it was these young... They describe mixed race descent, so black or brown young men who are in their friend's apartment. And what they're doing is they're doing their friend a favor. They're helping him clean his apartment so he can get the security deposit back. That's what they were doing. But neighbor, probably racist neighbor, sees some black, brown young men in this apartment, don't recognize the actual person who's supposed to be there, so they call the cops. Cops come in, and immediately, like we know they are, it's describing, they show up at 100 miles per hour, coming in with their guns drawn and whatever, putting people in handcuffs, yelling, get on the floor. So this kid, Asa Sullivan, he runs up into the attic. And in the attic, they're trying to get him to come down. He's refusing to come down. And then they say a couple things. One, they say he's holding a thing that looks like a gun. Obviously, it was not a gun. And then the other thing is they say, right here, I'll read from right here. The officer stated that Sullivan refused to show his hands and made disturbing statements such as, kill me or I'll kill you, and are you ready to shoot me? Officer Alvis stated that she thought she saw something in Sullivan's hands, and when he moved his right arm, she thought he was going to shoot her. Officer Kieser stated that he saw something that looked like a gun in Sullivan's hand, heard a pop, and began shooting at Sullivan. Asa's alleged statements and the officer's accounts of events were contested issues in the lawsuit. What is uncontested is that Officer Alvis and Kieser fired their entire magazines at close range, 25 shots in all, striking Asa more than a dozen times and killing him. Now listen to this. Initially, the police officers falsely reported that Asa fired shots at them before they killed him in the attic. But as the Ninth Circuit would later note in weighing the balance between the government's interest and Asa's constitutional rights, Asa was not accused of a crime, did not pose a threat to public safety, and could not escape. The appeals court further observed Asa, quote, had not initially caused the situation. He had not brandished a weapon, spoken of a weapon, or threatened to use a weapon. Sullivan, in fact, did not even have a weapon. Although the department later acknowledged these facts, it nevertheless defended the officer's actions by saying that Asa Sullivan died from suicide by cop. So these are things that we know the cops verifiably lied about. So, should we believe them that he said, kill me or I'm going to kill you, right? And that goes into the crux of how we started this conversation, where like that's sort of the situation you're imagining. Oh, someone wants the cops to kill him and the cops kill them. That's terrible. Cops, do better at your job. Just because a guy's telling you to kill him does not give you the right to just fucking do it. But that's not even the situation we're talking about. We're talking about that, like, the person did not even say that. Yeah. But that's how the cops will use as a cover.
It doesn't even make sense. It's like when you see somebody on a bridge who's like, I'm going to jump. And then someone comes up and be like, do it. It's
yeah.
Like, nigga.
But again, we're not even talking about someone being at the edge of a bridge. We're not talking about someone. But I'm saying, like, we're not talking about someone saying, kill me to the cops. We're talking about the cops killing someone and then saying he wanted to die. Because it gets more absurd. So, when it goes into, like, how it is used in court, the study talks about how they will basically, like, bring in these, like, psychologists to do, like, a post-mortem psychological analysis on this person who was killed by the cops. And through that, they, like, make an argument that, look, this guy was probably suicidal.
How the fuck
this guy was probably depressed. And then that is somehow supposed to, now we're supposed to put this into the situation as if the cops are, like, we're supposed to pretend the cops at the time know that he's diagnosed with depression. No, they don't. Like, what is it? It's not relevant at all what, if any, mental issues this person had, but we're supposed to pretend that the cops knew of that and that because he was struggling with depression or whatever it was, that this person wanted the cops to kill him. Yeah. They're basically inventing this out of thin air.
I mean, even in their own logic, they're basically saying people with mental health issues, we will kill. We will straight up, if they ask us, we will, and they pose a threat. The people with mental health issues are scary, and we have to kill them because that's protocol. Like, they're in their own defense. It's like, okay, he was depressed, he had mental health issues, and so you killed him because he was ready to kill himself because his brain told you're going to come in contact with people whose brain chemistry isn't the same as everybody else's, who's going through their own issues internally, and your response to that is be on guard, be up, and not.
Yes, but again, not to be a broken record, but I again want to reiterate that's not even the case. Like, the police in the moment many times have no idea that this person is going through anything mentally. They just pulled the trigger because they're being bad cops, killed someone, and then retroactively paint this person as someone who literally wanted to die. That's their argument. Oh, he actually wanted to die. Look at this. We're bringing in a psychologist who's going to convince the jury that this guy wanted us to kill him, and we just did what he wanted. So this idea, this study is very good and in-depth, and it talks about how, like, in the 1980s and 90s, there was, like, they started seeing a couple cases of the more quote unquote the actual suicide by cop, like when someone does intend on dying and using the police to do that. And so they had some of those cases, but basically from then the police took it and ran with it and kind of made their own junk science around it. So this is similar to, we talk about excited delirium, right? This junk science that cops will use retroactively after they've killed someone to be like, oh, this person was actually suffering excited delirium. We're talking, this is George Floyd. This is Elijah McClain. They were because they had this disease that us cops have discovered, that it was that caused them to overdose or caused them to behave in this irrational, animalistic manner that forced us to have to kill them. And yes, this disease is a disease that mostly African American men seem to have.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it sounds like it literally sounds like how male doctors used to describe women in the 30s. Like,
Exactly.
she's hysterical. I have
Exactly.
to lobotomize this woman with my gun.
Exactly. Perfect analogy. And so since the 80s, this, and just like Excited Delirium, this concept has been embraced by like police training. So now it's in their training that, hey, watch out. A lot of these people who are going to be accosting you and are acting crazy, they're trying to do a suicide by cop. And watch out, because they're dangerous. So it's not even saying, oh, these people are trying to do suicide by cop, so be as careful as you can not to hurt them. It's actually saying the opposite. It's saying, watch out, these people want to do suicide by cop, and they'll hurt you by it. They'll try to kill themselves by any means necessary, including hurting you. So you should actually be extra afraid by anyone who might want to harm themselves.
What does that say about police where suicidal people are like, you know who kills without even thinking a second thought? Cops.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easy way. People are like, how should I go? Should I take these pills? What's the easiest way? Should I hang myself? You know what? We also have a violent, deadly force who, as long as you show you freak them out enough, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that. What does that say about cops?
Yeah, but it is the circular logic they use. It's like in court, that's how they'll do it. They'll be like, look, if you look at this guy's history with mental illness, he clearly was depressed and deranged. So he probably wanted to die these cops, they were just acting on the instinct of the person who wanted to die. And so just another classic case of suicide by cop. That's it, folks. Case closed. Cops, y'all can go free. Sorry to bother y'all.
They say cops don't serve the community. Look at that.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Yeah. And of course, all the quote unquote science surrounding it is not science, it's junk science, it's not peer reviewed, it's small data sets, all the things that you would expect. So very interesting study. So I highly recommend you look it up. It's let me make sure I get it right. So it's called the California Law Review is who did it. And it's called Suicide by Cop, How Junk Science and Bad Law Undermine Accountability Killings for the Police.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just tell you like my grandma used to say, less suicide by cops and more suicides by cops. All right.
Damn. Those
my
bars
my
right
grandma
there.
said that.
Really?
No, not at all.
Damn. Hire your grandma at The Daily Show.